Hey, it's Mandy with Solistic Healing with Mandy, and I wanted to talk a little bit about trauma, the definition of it, and some lesser talked about areas that can cause us trauma. Not everything is going to cause everybody the same amount or even trauma at all, right? We're all perceiving life through a different lens or a different filter, however you want to look at it. And so some things are going to impact us more significantly than somebody else. But the definition itself of trauma is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. So when we're thinking about it, a lot of times we go right to war, right? Or somebody who's experienced combat, somebody who has watched somebody die, somebody who has lost their job unexpectedly, right? These are all things that we know can be directly linked and cause PTSD. But there is a whole nother circle, if you will, of instances that can cause trauma, and we can still have trauma responses to and because of them. These things can look like harassment, bullying, infidelity in a relationship, a divorce. Okay, the list is much longer than that, but that is just to give you an idea that there are still things in life that are distressing to us or disturbing, and those can cause us trauma just as much as even experiencing something like a chronic illness or a life-threatening illness, or going back to like war and combat. So if you are looking at your own situation, you're like, I've never experienced trauma, I don't need any help. Try and reflect back on some other things that may have happened in your life, that you may kind of view the world differently, or you may go about and hold yourself differently because you are trying to protect your mind, your body, your space, you name it, in whatever way, because of something you've experienced in the past. That just might be a trauma response because of one of the lesser known areas to cause trauma. I'm going to be talking about trauma responses specifically in another video. So if that is something you're curious about, please look forward and look into that. I'll be posting that shortly, but just keep that in mind for yourself, okay? And also something that I think is so important to know, we may view somebody else's trauma as being bigger or worse than ours. And just because we may feel that somebody else's is worse or their situation is tougher than ours doesn't mean that the trauma we're experiencing and going through isn't just as hard on our body and mind, okay? Like I said at the beginning, we are all experiencing life and our traumas, or whatever it might be, through a different lens. And it is good to just give ourselves grace and work through that and not try to brush it under the rug. Do things that are healthy and healing for you, even if you think somebody else's is worse or bigger or whatever word you put to it. You are still important, and it is still so important to honor and acknowledge the hardships, the trauma, the XYZ, you put a name to it, that you've been through, because it is important for you to be healthy and strong for your body and mind as well. If you have any questions, please reach out.